Oilers, you got a great offense with Connor McDavid. So I have them sweeping them.
Yeah, well, I don't think you heard my point. The San Francisco Giants have 3 more in the 2010s than the Rangers have in their entire history. So, yeah.
It's hard to get back and to get back-to-back wins. And I don't see the Lightning doing it here, so I have them losing to the Hurricanes in 6.
We don't talk about the 2010s because the 2010s had the Astros. And if the Astros didn't happen, the Yankees would have won in 2017.
He was close to Frank Reich, and they want Frank Reich back, so that's what they got. It's their discount Frank Reich.
Kaprizov and the rest of his crew. Jordan Greenway, who doesn't get enough props. He definitely is somebody who needs to be mentioned more.
Hi, this is Julie Dobbs. You're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. This time, we're discussing the New England Patriots, which to me, Austin, they showed a lot of work, kind of given the past few years what was happening. And this year, they are off to a surprising start with a 4-2 record, as you told me before recording. And one of those wins is a late win against the Buffalo Bills that were undefeated.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, didn't I have the Patriots making the playoffs?
I think you may have. Yeah, I think you did.
I'm trying to check really quickly, but yeah, I do believe I had them in the playoffs, and I was confident about them playing well, but leading the division 6 weeks in is extremely impressive. Drake May looks to be the real deal, and we can talk about the Bills later, but their run defense looks to be atrocious. But the Patriots are continuing to progress, and I think that Mike Vrabel is a big reason why.
Absolutely. He is, to me, I think I was a huge fan of him. I was shocked he was put on the market by the Titans, and he really fits the Patriots' way. Even though he never coached under Belichick, he played under Belichick and then got other experiences as a coach, and then, of course, his head coaching time with Tennessee. But he does really get a lot out of it. What have you seen kind of from the Patriots under Vrabel?
They're improving on defense. If you look, ever since they lost week 1, 20-13, then they gave up 27 points, and since then they have not allowed over 20 points. So they've only allowed over 20 points this season one time, which was against the Dolphins. And their offense has started to play well. Over 20 points they have scored in almost every game this year. They haven't scored over 20 in just 2 games, which was their 2 losses. Every game they've scored over 20, they've won, and their defense has only allowed over 21 once. So, which was 21 against the Steelers. And then they also gave it. Oh, it was twice against the Dolphins as well. They gave it 27 to the Dolphins. So that's only twice, both times. So they're 4-2, and they play the Titans this week in Tennessee, and I totally expect them to win this game. Then they play the Browns in New England. Totally expect them to win that game as well, and they're 6-2 at that point. So I feel extremely confident saying that the Patriots are at least playoff contenders at this point, if not more.
Yeah, I'm really interested. And you mentioned Vrabel. Yes, to me that plays a part. What I'm also seeing is just what Drake May is doing in his second year. Last year, for reference, he had a completion percentage of 66.6 and 2,276 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. He is doing so much better, and he started 12 games that year. Last season. This year, he's at 6 games, half of those games, and he has a 73.2 completion percentage, 1,522 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So he's already more than halfway to his yards, about 700 from passing it, 5 touchdowns, and he's really doing it. Yes, they did draft Will Campbell, the Patriots, but it's really just the same Drake May.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs, and who did make a great catch. I think got called back in the game against the Saints. But to me, that's a huge part. Is you mentioned the defense, but having a capable capable offense, especially a play caller in New England, has been huge for them because they haven't really had that for a while. Mac Jones showed it his rookie year, and that's when they did make the playoffs, I want to say. Or maybe it was their second year of Mac Jones when they played the Bills in that wild card.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, of course, every quarterback in New England is going to get compared to Tom Brady. That is very lofty expectations. But if you can have a solid quarterback with with a good defense, you look to appear what the Tennessee Titans had under Vrabel, in my opinion. Always in the playoffs and could make a deep run at one point.
Yeah, and Drake May's not turning over the ball fumble-wise either. So that's a big part of why I think they're having so much consistent success is that they're just not fumbling the ball. They're not turning over the ball, except for Ramondre Stevenson, which they obviously got to fix. I do like Travion Henderson, even though he has struggled to start the year. I think Ramondre eventually gets traded or moved on in some form or fashion. Stephon Diggs has played well. Same thing with Kayshon Boutte and Hunter Henry, who's been one of the best tight ends in the league. Already has 3 tight ends, averaging about 50 yards per game, which has been just a great target for Drake May this early in the season. But I'm harping more on their defensive side. I think that obviously Drake May has been supported great by defense, but the defense is the biggest reason. Whenever your team can win games 23-20 against some of the best teams or against the Bills, win a game 25-19. Like if you're holding a team to that low scoring, you're giving your offense a chance. And that's what I think allows Drake May to feel confident in himself and in the team having success. Because if you look at points allowed over the entire NFL, where do you think they rank? If you had to guess.
I want to say probably top 10.
They're definitely top 10.
Oh, are they in the top 5?
Not top 5. They're like, I think they're like 9 or 10. I think they're 9.
Or below the Broncos?
Oh, no. The Broncos have only allowed 95. But some of these teams that are below them have already had a bye week. So like the Packers, the Steelers, those teams have already had bye weeks. Same thing with the Texans. So I don't really count those teams. So if we don't count teams that have byes, then they're like 6, I think. Because they have the Vikings and Falcons are also. So yeah, Broncos are first with only 95 allowed. Then it would be the Rams at 110, Colts at 116, Seahawks at 117, and then Jaguars and Patriots are both tied at 120. So that gives them at either 5 or 6 if you don't include the teams that have already like that have had a bye, like the Texans or Vikings or Falcons. So their defense to put them in a place to win. They currently have a differential of 30 points, which through 5 or 6 weeks is pretty impressive. They're averaging winning every game by 5. So I think they're going to have a good chance of making the playoffs this year, and I fully expect Drake May to continue to improve this season.
Yeah, you and I are kind of hitting the same notes because I'm more surprised with Drake May because I expected an increase in that in just a better defense under Vrabel because he just knows how to get everything out of that defense, and that defense had some players because a few years ago they were great. It's just they didn't have much of an offense, and now to me Drake May was a quarterback that I wasn't sure about when he was a rookie last year and drafted to the Patriots, and it's really worked out. And this is a Patriots team that was in that I can't remember what their record was, but they fired Gerard Mayo after
they were 4-13
season.
last year.
They were 4-13, and they fired Gerard Mayo after 1 year and went with Vrabel, and it is giving them immediate results. But to me, this is still a young team, so I'm curious how they play against these upcoming teams where it could be a trap game definitely against the Titans, who just fired their coach and are in a downslide, then the Browns. But if they can keep that up, then I definitely see them. I already think they can compete for the playoffs and get a playoff spot. It's just how well do they do as a young team that's growing?
Yeah, I expected Drake May to be good. I drafted him a lot in fantasy this year, and while fantasy is not obviously NFL. I expect him to be good. I expect both sides to be good, and I think this is a perfect marriage between a coach and a quarterback. Very reminiscent of kind of Belichick, because Belichick's defensive minded like Vrabel, and then you have a good QB on the other side. But the QB, he's not putting up as much points as some other teams are. Again, they've only scored above 20 points or above 25 points twice this year. So they're not like racking up the points, but they are keeping themselves in it on both sides of the ball. And that's all you really need to do to beat most teams, is keep yourself in it offensively, score at least 21 points, and defense allow less than 20, and you're going to win a very large majority of your games. And that's what the Patriots have been known for a while.
Yeah, and kind of we talk about the Patriots. They have the same play caller multiple times with Mac Jones and Tom Brady, of course, and that's Josh McDaniel is back with the Patriots, and he just knows how to do that Patriots offense, and I think that's just a funny note, but it seems to be working. And yeah, we'll have to keep you updated, and I'm very interested to see what happens. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.